Hi, this is Vince Stambros from Helix Water District's Water Conservation Department. Today, I'm going to show you how to operate your irrigation controller and how to use it to water your plants efficiently.
Now, every model is different, but most controllers function the same way. As long as you understand these functions, you'll have a good start at understanding your controller. We'll go over what you need to know, such as the program, the zone, start time, water days, and run time. Now grab a pen and paper. I like to write everything down as I go through the controller so I can see the big picture. Let's start with the zones. Zones are the different areas that each valve waters. Make notes on what each zone is, what type of plants are watered, and what type of emitter or sprinkler is in each zone. If you don't know, go to the controller, turn the zone on manually, find the zone, and write down the key information. Now we can begin to program the controller that operates these zones. The first thing we want to understand are the programs. Programs are the set of instructions that controls when, how often, and how long a zone waters. Most controllers have 2 to 4 programs, and people usually use only one program. But you may group and assign zones with similar water needs to separate programs, but we'll talk more about this later. The first set of instructions in each zone are the start times. Start times control the time of day that each program begins to water. Each zone will start automatically in sequence based on that start time. As you move through your controller, you will see options for multiple start times, and most people use only one start time. However, there are reasons you would use more than one start time. This is also known as the cycle and soak method, and it's perfect for deep watering plants while preventing runoff. Remember, if you're going to have multiple start times, you will need to decrease your run times so you do not water longer than intended. This brings us to watering days. Watering days control the days that the watering will take place. Depending on what you're watering, you may need to water only 1 day per week in a shaded zone, for instance, or you may need to water 4 to 5 days per week if you have lawn in full sun, for example. You may adjust this here. As the season changes, it's good practice to change watering amounts by adding or removing watering days. Plants need more water in the summer than they do in the winter. Now that we told this program what time and how many days to water, we can program the run times. Run times are how long each zone waters during its program schedule. You can adjust this by adding or increasing the total watering minutes here. Putting all of that information together, you can use your controller to water different zones to have different start times, different watering days, and different run times by assigning similar zones to specific programs. Using different programs allows you to water your zones more efficiently. An example would be that zones irrigating grass, which requires short, more frequent irrigation, would be scheduled differently than zones irrigating trees, which like deep and infrequent irrigation. You would use program A to water your grass and program B to water your trees. As a general rule, do not include the same zone in multiple programs. If zone 1 and 2 are in program A, do not program those zones into B or C. Make sure you remove all watering days and start times from programs you do not wish to run. Those are the basic functions of an irrigation controller. Zones are the areas watered by your irrigation valves. Programs allow you to water different zones differently and contain start times, watering days, and run times. Start times control what time and how many times per day irrigation takes place. Watering days control what days the watering will take place. And run times are how long those valves water each zone. Putting it all together, we hope that you can now take control of your irrigation controller. Rebates are available for weather-based irrigation controllers. Please visit hwd.com/rebates for more info.